The 80s sure is a decade people get nostalgic for, be it the music, the aesthetics, the crazy hair, or even the solo jazz cup design. But what about the furry commercials? Hello, I'm Shadow Raccoon.
And I'm Theodore Rabbit.
And let's take a look at the world of 80s furry commercials. One of the first products that comes to mind when I think about furry advertising in the 1980s has to be breakfast cereals.
Many of them, such as the ones featuring our hero Tony, Toucan Sam, Trix the Rabbit, were all animated, often with colour schemes that felt like some insane sugar rush, while also being pretty damn furry.
However, some took the furry aspect a little further and adopted a more costumed approach.
Introducing Teddy Grams.
We just want to eat tasty Teddy Grams. Just a bunch of bite-sized bears. They're fun to eat. Oh man, oh let 'em be. Yo, Teddy Grams.
New lightly sweet, great-to-eat graham snacks. Exploding with taste in honey, cinnamon, and chocolate.
Just want to eat those Teddy Grams. The disco.
You know what I'm going to say next now, don't you? Come on everyone at home, join in with me here. Yay bears!
Get it in early there with the yay bears, I see.
Yes, and it's the first, but you know it's not going to be the last. Still, continuing on this trend of things full of sugar in the 1980s, we head on over now to a country making its first appearance in furry commercials, Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabian food and beverage company Rue Foods introduced a rather cute polar bear mascot character in the mid-80s. This character proved popular enough that it even got his own cartoon series named Suntop Island, which is still going on today.
Here's one of their many adverts.
Suntop! سانتا الأصلي طعم الفاكهة الطازجة في كل رشفة.
I'm getting mixed messages from that advert. Did that juice really make him go hyperactive? I mean, that grin on his face.
Yeah, I noticed that. I guess it's pretty much like Sunny Delight, without the, turning kids orange thing.
Now, some of you at home might be going, these adverts are all for kids, or at least aimed at that market.
However, furry commercials in the 1980s targeted all age groups, including those who were of legal drinking age.
Meet the Coors Beer Wolf. Originally part of a Halloween advert, this wolf stuck around well past the 31st of October.
Joining other such famous beer mascots as the Ham's Beer Bear, and of course the original party dog Spuds McKenzie, this beloved wolf mascot had some pretty furry artwork made of him at the time, and even appeared in an advert with one of our favourite celebrities, Elvira.
Yay! Beyond the merchandise and print, there was a pretty decent series of TV commercials featuring the character too, all with his, by the 1980s standards, very decent fursuit.
Check out this 1986 St. Patrick's Day commercial.
Who's gonna be at the Silver Bullet tonight?
Beer Wolf, are you Irish?
No. Sipping on a cold Coors Light. Are you right?
No Irish at all.
Who's gonna come and play on a Coors Light St. Patrick's Day?
Come on, you're Irish.
Okay, I'm Irish.
That's funny, you don't look Irish.
No slowing down with the Silver Bullet tonight.
So look for this display with Beer Wolf. I'm Irish, wherever you buy Coors and Coors Light beer.
Sadly, in the early 90s, the character was phased out by Coors, and I must admit, none of their mascots since have ever been anywhere near as good as the Coors Beer Wolf. Sorry, Jean-Claude Van Damme.
You do know that if he hears that, he's gonna come kick your ass.
Well, it's funny you mentioned Jean-Claude Van Damme there. Did you know, little fact for you here, that one of his residences is in Hong Kong?
No, but how's that even relevant?
Well, you see, our next furry commercial is from Hong Kong, and I like a, relevant way to introduce that commercial.
Wow, that's quite some segue.
Raw commercial. So that was a commercial for White Cat washing powder, a brand from my understanding still popular today in Hong Kong. Granted, apparently their adverts are a lot less furry.
I like that despite this being an animated advert, the dancers are clearly wearing fursuits. I mean, look, you can see their zippers and everything.
I totally missed out on the first watch, but yeah, you're right, they are wearing fursuits. Which I guess means that for anyone who is looking for the best detergent to use to clean your fursuit, there you go, it's White Cat.
I do enjoy the animation style in this commercial, and I must say, the 80s really had some good animation in its adverts.
That it really did. And I mean, one of my favourites from this era has to be the Granada rental one. TV rental nowadays, I think the idea of renting a TV is kind of strange or unusual. But in the 80s, it was a common way for people to get their hands on a TV, often because they were just so expensive.
I mean, with stores in the UK, US, and Canada, Granada TV Rentals was quite a dominant chain at the time.
And whilst the company may have been long sold off, merged and renamed, their iconic 80s commercial lives on.
Granada, come a well, I'll sell my mother. Go out and find what's on his mind. That creature's gonna ruin me for sure.
This cannot be.
Free delivery.
Installed free too. What can we do? The service such as that we can't compete.
They rent and sell, now this as well.
This clever leopard's gone and changed his spots.
I love how many species appear in this commercial. I mean, it really feels like something for everyone.
It's like a buffet. The furry commercials in the 80s really do seem to just cover such a wide range of species for everyone. And of course, naturally, this includes foxes. Now, previously, if you've been watching the series, on the Fox special I talked about a KFC commercial from 1977 that featured a rather dapper sounding fox.
And this mascot was still being used into the 80s for KFC, and by then he had even found his way all the way over to Australia.
Appearing in a whole host of adverts over the mid-80s there, one that stands out to me is this end of 1984 one, which features a rather furry-friendly promotion.
Here's an absolutely magnificent calendar that's gratis from Kentucky Fried Chicken.
And it's free too.
If you buy 10 delicious pieces of Kentucky Fried Chicken and large chips.
For just $9.99.
A whole year of calendar capers with Charlie and me. And there's over $20 worth of discount vouchers and free offers for all year.
There's even a temperature gauge.
The free calendar and discount voucher offer from Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Don't miss it.
It's out now.
That really was a must-have for any fox fur. I mean, a different furry fox picture every month.
And some substantial savings on chicken too.
It's always about chicken with you, isn't it?
Chicken. Yes, it is. And bears, yay bears and everything too. Speaking of which, it's been a little while actually since we've had some bears in a commercial here, so, here's a Mexican commercial with some pandas.
Mexican pandas. I wonder if that advert was what inspired Paco.
I was actually curious, so I actually asked him. And yes, he is familiar, and he says a big fan of the gummies and always likes to try and eat them when he can.
Well, there we go.
Yeah. Now, let's head back north from Mexico, back to the US, and I think we could all do a drink, so why don't we grab something like a root beer?
Well, it is the American classic after all.
Now, I'm sure many of you here are familiar with the brand A&W root beer, and possibly their associated restaurants too. Now, in an attempt to stay relevant when faced with competition from McDonald's and Burger King in the mid-70s, the Canadian part of the chain got their agency to create a bear mascot character named the Root Bear.
Oh my god, that pun in the name, it's terrible.
It really is. And you know what's even funnier is the focus groups that they originally showed it to hated it. They hated him.
That's a surprise.
But yeah, you know, personally, I think he's still better than McDonald's scary clown and whatever that nightmare fuel that Burger King has.
However, proving that there is an exception to everything, the mascot stuck around appearing in adverts throughout the late 70s, 80s, and 90s, where he was accompanied by a rather catchy tuba song that would play when he was on screen.
So, another day, another shootout.
A drink instead.
Yeah, but not the usual.
Nope.
When it's time to break out of the old routine, go for the real flavor of A&W Root Beer.
Real good.
Yep.
When you don't want to go for the usual, go for the flavor.
Whilst he was pretty much retired after the 90s, the merchandise lives on, along with that damn tuba song that's now stuck in my head once again. Finally though, I felt I couldn't end a Furry's commercial, in the 80s at least, without something from my favourite Furry commercial series, Sun Country Wine Coolers.
Long story short, in the 80s, alcoholic drink brand Sun Country Wine Coolers created a series of commercials featuring big-name celebrities like Grace Kelly, Vincent Price, as polar bears to promote their products.
Notably, at the end of each commercial, the person who was inside the suit would take the head off, revealing who they were, and then make a quip about either wearing the suit or the drink. Take a look.
Our favorite wine cooler, Sun Country. Our favorite flavor, tropical. It is. I thought it was peach.
No, it's cherry.
What about orange?
Well, don't forget the original citrus.
Sun Country Cooler in 5 flavors and 3 sizes, including the 2-liter party size.
So we don't agree about everything except the great taste of Sun Country. We think is the tops.
You ever wonder what happens to the old suits after these commercials? I mean, it's funny to think that someone somewhere out there has one of these things sitting in their closet.
Yeah, and I hate to think what condition they would probably be in now. Anyway, there we go. Those were some furry commercials from the 1980s, and I must say, I was certainly not disappointed by them. What furry commercials did you enjoy the most? Let us know in the comments below. If you have spotted some furry commercials yourself, why not share them with us? Drop them in the comments below as well, and you never know, they might find their way into a future episode. For now though, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please click that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, or why not consider supporting us on Patreon. There's a link in the description below. I'm Shadow Raccoon.
And I'm Theodore Rabbit.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye everyone!